published 16:39 Eastern Standard Time, the 8th of January 2018, updated 1912 Eastern Standard Time, the 8th of January 2018. So, after all the fuss about video assistance, football took its first tentative step into the 21st century with an FA Cup tie settled by a scruffy set-piece goal which still managed to inspire debate. It was scored with only 3 minutes remaining and credited to Brighton's former Crystal Palace striker Glenn Murray, but it was not his affiliation which sparked controversy. As replays were shown on screens around the Amex Stadium, the Crystal Palace players, staff and fans demanded a review. Glenn Murray came off the bench to snatch a late winner as Brighton beat Crystal Palace 2-1 in the FA Cup third round. The striker bundled the ball home from near the goal line to ensure Brighton sealed a fourth-round clash with Middlesbrough. Murray pictured sending the ball home in the 87th minute to help Chris Hughton's men seal the place in the next round. The 34-year-old stooped low to make some sort of contact as he tried to nudge the ball into the empty net. Murray is congratulated by his Seagulls teammates after scoring the dramatic late winner at the Amex Stadium. Murray could be seen stooping low to make some sort of contact with his body as he tried to ensure a header from centre-half Uwe Waynemeyer made its way into the net. He was trying to make contact with his chest, or any part of his body, and the striker said he glanced his knee on the way in, but there was a suspicion the ball might have grazed his arm, too, on its way past. Palace fans quickly grew hopeful there might be an escape route. While in the television studio, the experts studied replays and had to admit it was hard to tell. Somewhere in a compound near Heathrow, Neil Swarbrick, the video assistant referee, was examining the same footage, and there was certainly no clear evidence of a mistake by the officials at the game. On the pitch, Andre Mariner made no move towards his pitch-side screen as all eyes at the Amex Stadium turned his way. Murray's goal would stand. Brighton held on to the slender lead for a tense final few minutes. Bakary Sako leveled the scoring at 1-1 on Monday night following an emphatic strike from long range on 69 minutes. The goalscorer is congratulated by his Palace teammates after briefly drawing his side level in the second half. Sako salutes the travelling Palace supporters after netting the impressive equaliser. During the second half, the 29-year-old fired the ball home from long range into the bottom corner of Tim Krul's net to hold Palace level. The whole episode supplied a dramatic climax to an otherwise mundane third-round tie, which was strangely muted considering the simmering ill-feeling between these rival clubs. The crowd was below capacity with Palace's ticket allocation capped on security grounds, and the two managers made a total of a dozen changes to the teams selected previously in the Premier League. Two-thirds of the changes were made by Brighton boss Chris Hughton, while Roy Hodgson omitted both Wilfried Zaha and Christian Benteke from the Palace squad. Priorities were clear enough. The prospect of a trip to Middlesbrough in round 4 did little to warm the cockles, and both managers seemed relieved to avoid a replay. Stoppages disrupted the early flow when Izzy Brown and Jeffrey Schlupp were forced off with what looked to be serious knee injuries after contesting a loose ball in a strong but clean tackle. Andros Townsend suffered an ankle injury, was replaced at halftime and went home on crutches. Midfielder Dale Stephens put Brighton in front in the 25th minute following a neat move from Hughton's men. Stephens celebrates with his Seagulls teammates after firing his side 1-0 ahead early on in the FA Cup third-round clash. Palace defender Timothy Fosu-Mensah, on loan from Manchester United, lays on the floor showing his dejection. Palace's James McArthur and Joel Ward look disappointed after seeing the side fall behind to Stephens' goal. Stephens pictured firing the ball past goalkeeper Wayne Hennessy at the front post during the opening period. Brighton dominated the first half and were wasteful in front of goal, but took the lead through captain Dale Stephens, who burst into the penalty area onto a pass from Esquil Scalotto and drove low past goalkeeper Wayne Hennessy. Palace travelled south, having lost only one of the previous 11 games but managed only one effort on target in the first half. They improved after the interval, and Bakary Sako levelled with a brilliant long-distance strike. Fizzed across a slippery surface and perfectly accurate as it flashed past goalkeeper Tim Krul. Moments later, Sako rolled past centre-half Connor Goldson and smashed another effort into the side netting before Brighton responded by creating a cluster of clear chances. Sam Baldock rattled the post and Barham Kyle missed perhaps the clearest opportunity, firing over An effort from Tomerhand on the turn was too close to keeper Hennessy, and Baldock accelerated clear of the Palace defense only to miss the target. Sacco runs down the left wing as Ezekiel Scalotto tries to stop his opponent from crossing the ball into the area. Plenty of Brighton fans decided to stay away from the Amex Stadium on Monday for the clash against the fierce rivals Brighton. Sam Baldock vies for the ball with Palace midfielder Johan Cabaye during the early stages of the cup clash. Then came the late winner. Solly marched the Excelt with his dead ball delivery, launched a free kick. Waynemeyer won it in the air and Murray applied the slightest of touches. It had to be Murray, the 34-year-old striker who was on as a late substitute to sink Palace, where he spent 4 years of his career. The goal came with an element of confusion, but ultimately the technology helped to ensure a correct decision was reached. We were warned, or should that be reassured, this technological advance to VAR would not mean the end of disputed decisions. As for the rest of the recording, the best way Swarbrick can assist might be to destroy the tape so no one has to watch it again. Isaiah Brown was forced off with an early injury and was replaced by Baldock in just the 6th minute of the match. There was a huge police presence outside the Amex Stadium prior to kick-off between the two rivals on Monday night.